Well, I guess we're right on time, and look at the time. 6:28 a.m. on the 24th of June in the year of our Lord 2024. 6:28 was the day that my son had crossed over. Welcome to my class, everybody. It is Nana Marie in Quebec City, and today is a new day, a new beginning. And if you like, you can sit down and have a seat and learn, or if you don't want, you can go to another channel. Those are the two options I give in my classes. Because whatever we do, I want you happy. And if you're not ready for this, you won't see it. If you are unable to imagine or fathom what I'm talking about here. And what I'm talking about today is humanity and their whole brain. Yeah, I'm going to give you the answer right off the bat. Men want their whole brain. The answer is on the board and in the beginning of my lecture. And throughout, you're going to find out what men need and why we are here in the disaster that we're in. So you can take notes if you want. Men have a huge capacity um, to remember what they want to remember. So you may want to take some notes. Stand by. So today, I took some notes because I'm able to today. I'm able to do a lot more today than I was able to do yesterday. And the reason I'm able to do what men do best, really, is because I have my left brain with me in spirit. My left brain is my one. We all come with one, and I have my one speaking to me telepathically. And I can't tell you how many times in the last few days um, that left brain has saved me, like emotionally. Emotionally. It's helped me um, feel protected. For the first thing, I felt completely protected, even though my mind was carrying me in places that I have never been before. Where are we going with this one now? You know, what am I going to find out about that one? And the enormity of the messages that I was getting, it brought me right back to 2016 when the beings of light came. Do you mind if I smoke? When the beings of light came to my bed with my deceased son. All true. If I ever go into doubt, my better half said, all I have to do is remember that moment and everything will be okay again. Because that moment I know was real. I felt my son. And you can't feel it unless it's real. So I know that I was protected no matter what in the last few days. While my mind was shown the world and what's happening. right now around the world and with people, and people I love dearly. People I love on the spiritual side, which is their higher selves. Their higher selves are always on the other side because you're not going to get your higher self here. And anyway, let me begin. Oh, I need my glasses. You know why I need these glasses? Because my senses have been taken away. That's what my guy says. My senses have been taken away. So, pardon me if I need glasses. Um, I don't have a sense of smell anymore either. I One of the first smells I had as a child was that smell of mint. You ever mint? I bought some mint at the store in the form of a spice because I couldn't find the smell out there. And I brought the mint home, opened it up, and I couldn't wait to smell it. The mint. Because a woman loves her senses, right? And opened it up, can't smell it. Can't smell nothing. So my senses are leaving me, right? So I'm going to tell you up front, and then that way you don't have to watch the whole video or watch the whole class or do no study, nothing. You know, you don't want to be bored here. So I'll tell you the answer right up the bat, right up front. I hope it's the right order. Pardon me. I'm in heart failure. I'm in health failure. Total health failure and heart failure. Um, yeah, went to get healed over there, and I got sick. I got sick. Anyway, uh, but I'm going to tell you something. Men want, first and foremost, love. Okay? Let's start there, okay? Everybody is born a Christ flame, and everybody dies a Christ flame. Your higher self is your Christ flame. You can reach levels of Christ, it being in your Christ flame, and do what you think Jesus did in your Christ flame. Um, or you can do something else, but let's stick with this. I'll be quick. Men want love, but they also love and want safety. You know, we all do. That's the men and women thing too, but the men really, really want safety. They want to protect and they want to keep us safe. They really do. Men want to protect us and they want to keep us safe. Facts. Also, men, number 4, I guess, love, safety, protect. Men want to work out the logistics, right? They love logic. They are the operating people. They are logistics. Do you know? In a career, I've hired logistics managers. To do the whole logistics because they're good at logistics, logic. And men love that kind of thing. I don't. Last few days, though, I've had logic. I've had so much logic. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. That makes so much sense. Oh, Arthur, thank you. Thank you, Arthur Nolan Fisher. Because so much didn't make sense to me. But now it does. Now the world makes sense. And I'll keep going, but you can go play recess if you want. If you're bored already, I know you want cartoons in every 5 minutes, but you're going to have to put up with a little bit of what you don't like, guys, in order to get what you do want, okay? And you may be triggered. Yeah. Women trigger men. You may be triggered, but in a good way at the end. That's the thing. My good news is always at the end. This time. This time, the good news is at the end. In logical order. You got help now. And number 5, protect, safe, love, protect, safe, logistics. They want to build. They make second noise everywhere. Hammering, nailing, sawing. I love it. I love it. And that's why I loved Arthur, my guy. You know why? We were just glommed together the first time we met. We knew. Even though he was with a dark-haired girl, it was my fault he was with her. And I know that story now too. Never mind. But um, so you know how I know those 5 principles of what men want. Um, those 5 principles that men want, they are acting out. They are getting what they want. But they have a leader above love, above safety, protection, logistics, logic altogether, above what we're building here. The style. I don't see any feminine influence here whatsoever. I see very little pink, very little softness, because you know why? The men have only got one side of the brain going on. But I want to tell you something too, in my notes. All stories that I've told you about the past, the Jesus and Mary story, the King James and Mary story, the little twin flame story from India, Lifetime, the Elvis Presley and Gladys Love story, and the Cheryl Ann Grosclose and Trevor Thomas story. Uh, are funny. They're funny. They're funny, funny stories. And I got to that place in the last few days. I told you in my videos what would happen at the end, and I'm so happy so much of it is true. And what's true is at the end of my, when you graduate from this class, it's funny. Everything is fucking funny. I remember the dream I had where I was picking my mother and my father in the background, saying who will bear the brunt of her anger, picking the role. We pick our roles. We pick our mothers and we pick our roles that our fathers or our great grandfathers, what have you be, are inspiring us to. So, this dream I had, though, in front of me when I was picking the body that I was going to wear, they looked like cartoons. They all looked like, not with, makeup and like the cartoons you see on TV, just just the blue image of a cartoon, you know? No no features. I had to create the features. It's like a cartoon figure. Four, they all look the same. Let's put it that way. The cartoon figures were all blue, no features, all blue. And they don't have features until you go into the body and decide what the features will be. And it's based upon your past lives and past experiences and past knowing and what you want to gather this time. You do want to grow. And when you cross over, you are on the other side in a higher realm. You're at, like, I'm going to say, like, number 9 now, not number 12, number 9. Because number 9 is the top digit in our world. Number 9 is as far as we can go. And then it resets to 1. So I see it. Um, I see it like, I'm sure I wrote something down about an elevator ride. See, when I write notes, then I get in trouble. Okay, here we go. Elevator. Today, like, imagine I am the elevator operator today, and we're going up or we're going down. And you get in the elevator first, and most likely people want to go up, right? you you don't get in an elevator and go down into the ground, right? You want to go up. So come on into the elevator. I'll take you up or down. I don't know. You see, it's when you get into my elevator that I can tell what floor you are going to go to. I've worked here a long time going up and down. And as somebody who's worked here a long time going up and down, I know the floor you want to go to. I can tell by the way you look. I can tell by the way your eyes are, sparkling or not. I can tell by if you look at me. I can tell by your smile, by your energy, your happiness in the elevator, not just in front of the people. How are you in the elevator? I know which floor you want. Your spirit had a plan when you were on number 9. And with your mate, you know who your mate is. And the father, like in my dream, was setting up the logistics in the family. The father was. My father in spirit, even though, you know, it doesn't make sense to you. This is how it works. So the Father is, in my world, setting up the logistics of my family. And innately, he needs to. Innately, he needs that. Do you mind if I change? Oh, got one lid. I'm carrying out the work of two people here now, so, you know. All right, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. It's the next subject as we head on down to, are men getting what they want, ladies? Mm-mm-mm-mm. Not getting what they want. They're not getting the feeling out of what they want, right? They're not getting the good vibrations. How come they're not getting the good vibrations? They're miserable. I can see they are what they want to be, so why are they miserable? Huh. I looked and looked, and then I realized, oh, I see. That's why they're unhappy, ladies. Somebody else is pulling their love. Somebody else, somebody artificial, is taking their love somewhere else. Holy moly, I can even see in my circle there. It's sort of veering off. It's not a, everything should be perfect what I do here. I'm on, it should have been perfect. But I looked at it and I said, my circle isn't perfect. But it is perfect. If you look again, it looks like it's moving. It's in motion. I'll get more into that. And I'll tell you another answer right now, too. He is I am. We are all I am when we start. He has chosen to come as a male to fulfill her fantasy, her dream. And he knows that. And he knows his job. And he wants to innately, emotionally, he's got to do it. But when he goes, to another mother or another place to learn, not his creator, right? Not the one who brought him, created him in the womb, outside there, creator. The creator outside, the one, the image of God here on earth, the image of man, Alpha. is the image of man, is God. That's God to man, is the image of Alpha. He is fearless. He's a warrior. He's, or Jesus. He looks like Jesus. Um, or he's a rock star. Yeah, because he's he's uh, he's got a dad outside of him here, and his dad had a dad outside of him here, and his dad had a dad outside. It's the father is passing the sins down to the son and showing him the way, showing him the wave of that hole is bending. I have had a lot of time in the last 6 years since I moved to Quebec City after going homeless from British Columbia to sit and think, to do my finger painting and do nothing but look outside and stare and stare and stare and try to figure out what the heck just happened to me. And I know a lot of people are going to be going through that. It's very, very difficult to accept reality in a world of fantasy when men think they are running the show, and they are not. They are running the show for the opposite of love. They are running the show for fear. They are running the show out of fear of Alpha. Alpha doesn't have his right brain when he's at his lowest of low. When we're going down and Alpha gets on the floor or on the elevator, I'll tell you what, can be a man or a woman, by the way, but mostly men. They get in the elevator and they're huge, huge. Like, they don't have to look huge, they just know they're huge. They're proud, stand strong. They think they're going up to the top, the penthouse. Arthur, stop it. Arthur's with me. Yeah, they think they're going up to the penthouse because that's the way they look. They've dressed that part. They know they're wearing the tie. They know they're wearing the shiny shoes. And they know they have the money. What are you gonna frickin' argue with here, operator lady? Take me up to the ninth floor. But I just go, well, you know how I feel about that kind of thing, right? I am a feminine operator after all. I didn't want to take the job. I really didn't. Logistically, I was told I had to this time because there was nobody else to do it. So come on in, Alpha. Oh, another Alpha is, the guy with all the tattoos. He'll come in the elevator with his A15 or whatever, and big tattoos on his face, and muscles maybe. Sometimes, mostly not anymore. The gym is too expensive, but they do have muscles sometimes, but they look the part, Alpha. You know you're not gonna freaking mess with that guy either. You're not going to mess with the rich guy. You're not going to mess with this guy. He's got the tattoos. Yeah. He gets on the elevator, and I look at him and I go, "What floor do you want to go on?" And he goes, "I want to go down. Down. I want to go down. I don't know why I just want to go down." "Will you take me down, lady? Take me down." And he gets in the elevator, and you know what I see in that tattoo? Teardrops. Pain. Bleed all over my freaking elevator. You're bleeding, mister. Get your shoes off my floors. What are you bleeding for? You're Alpha. Why you got that teardrop? What kind of Alpha are you? Going down. Getting what you want. Men always get what they want. Okay. Men don't feel I am. They really don't. Not when they cross over. They look at their story and they go, I wasn't. I wasn't at all. I was a ghost. I was, I was a ghost. And he is a ghost here. And I had a lot of time in the last 6 years to sit here and watch them. And this is the funny thing. I wanted to do a video about my neighborhood because they're so freaking weird. Every last one of my neighbors is a ghost. Then I was gonna do a video about it and go and show you each house, and like, 'cause some of the houses have one person living in the whole house and it's huge, one person, or up to 6 people. These houses, they're in Quebec. We call them 1.5 apartments, all the way up to 5.5 rooms. The half is always referred to as the bathroom. Is a half a room here, but the rooms, bedrooms, are laid out like that. Like I live in a 4.5, which is a 2-bedroom apartment in Quebec. I live in a 4.5, and it's a 2-bedroom. And in this neighborhood, each house has, from one to a family living in it. And most of them are single in each apartment, or that house across the street, which is huge, and it's one lady, one ghost. And the 2 neighbors I have in this house, the 2 gentlemen in their 60s, ghosts, do exactly the same thing every day, nothing changes. Same, beats his wife up, comes home, drinks up the whiskey, sleeps all night. The same routine. She comes over, cleans up the beer bottles, uh, and then goes. She lives 2 doors down because she can't live with him. But she comes over to clean up for him. Other dude, bro, whatever. I've never talked to him. Now, I've never seen anyone over there except his sister, who shows up with her SUV from time to time and takes him somewhere. He brings a little suitcase and he goes on vacation to her house. But she brings her car over, her SUV, once or twice a year. Twice a year, she will bring her car over. I've been here 6 years. I know what's going on here. And it's twice a year in her same vehicle that she brings it over here, and he changes her tires for her for the summer, take off the winter. He logistically has to do that. Help her out there. Safety, protection, love. And so he's got a sister, and he does that for her. And she does things for him. She brings things over. He's got a bike. He's never had a car. But I know he was going to the bar a lot every night from 5 o'clock until 2 a.m. He stopped that after 2021. Now he's like me, only he's not. You see, I've been happy here and comfortable and making my environment work for me here. And women have this amazing ability to create. Yeah, it's amazing. Out of nothing. She can be abandoned over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Oh, I was. Well, you didn't know my Joe. You didn't know my Joe. By the way, I find the whole story funny now. It's all funny now. But it makes sense. It's logical for today, for us today, to know these stories and how they are only stories. That to walk into these biblical stories in history as if they are true today with no sense of reality telling you, hey, yeah, because you went to school or your mom told you, your dad told you, or whatever, some television program told you about this outside God, outside of your mother, your creator of consciousness, outside. Your creator is Alpha. It has to be. You will never believe in a woman. You will never believe your mother is your creator because she was really awful or she just doesn't live up to your standards here. Oh, I know. I know, gentlemen. So, got no argument from me. So the men don't feel I am because God is who they work for, not their mother, not their wives, not their mate, their one, not the mother they chose, not the mate that they came with, and not their family. What comes first? What comes first? Not love, fear. That's the way that's how you get there. You got to give the girls some fear. And if they don't feel I am, they didn't have a life. And they come back to try again another life. And they come back in the state of consciousness of 9. They're fearless. They have no fear, guys. You have no fear on the other side. And Okay. Arthur says just like the times table. Okay, so I'm going to go to left brain stuff. Remember, I failed grade 2 and I don't know math. Well, I'm going to give you some math. Um, if folks love me or not, it doesn't matter in my story. See, I always thought it did. I was looking for love in all the wrong places because, you know, I innately want love like everybody. So, but let's do some math about number 9. What is 9 times 9? 81. What's the numerology on 81? You add the 2 digits together and it comes to 9. What's 9 times 8? Add those 2 numbers together. Add them, add them. Don't times them, add them. And what do they add up to? 76 or something? 9 times 7, or what's 76 equal? When you do the numerology. Oh, wait. My left brain. I can't do it right now, but I'm going to tell you, because I, as the creator, see the big picture. You guys can work out the math. When you times 9 by any other digit and do the numerology, it's going to equal 9, no matter what. It's still going to equal 9. And for you geniuses there on the left brain, you can go more deeper into that because it's significant as far as our consciousness goes. Now, I hope you can see this. I hope you can see this, but let's see. There we go. It's above my pay grade, I say there. But basically, there's your 9. There's your egg. There's your cord. That is the feminine. There's your sperm. There's your cord. Same. Right? Upside down, though. Like I said, it's above my pay grade, but that's what I'm coming up with. Arthur, stop it. You see, he can do this kind of joking around. I can't because I work for the Alpha Godfather, and you're not allowed to talk like that. You come with one. You come with one, or you act it out until you find them over and over and over again. You get reset to one. You're on the bottom floor. each life. It's going down. There is no zero. There's no such thing as the number zero. There is no zeros here. None of us are zeros. Heroes. We're all Christ flames. You see, those eggs and the sperm belong in the hole. I told you everything would be funny later. It really is. It's so good. Oh, sorry. Don't be jealous and mad because I'm happy. You can come here too. You can be whole. It's not too late. It's not. There's no zero. There is no sunshine. There is darkness. There is sadness. There is sorrow. And it can be an eternity. Looking, waiting, watching. Who is she? Oh, there's one. She looks like the one in my image. Look at that. Oh, pretty woman, walking down the street. Pretty woman, I couldn't help but me. Pretty woman. He can be anyone, really. You see the wave in the little sperm thing? It's not round. It's twisted up. It's because it's flying around, seeding these little, I don't know what. But I'll tell you something. What? Every infant born is a Christ flame. Be it an infant in the ghetto, be it an infant at the mansion, be it an infant in India, Africa, or the Amazon. That child's there for a reason. That child was born for a reason to that mother at this time in that environment. Elevator, elevator. Because of the education and the way that our consciousness has been formed on earth, adults, and the first men, after they became educated, you see, their mothers were at home and their sisters were at home, and they went to the temples and were educated by Alpha, fearing God, and went home and told his mother and everybody else what they had to wear. Logistically, he had to work for God. Logistically, he thinks he's doing the right thing. He really does. For her protection, for her, modesty. By the time we get to Muhammad there, after 700 AD, the new one religion, well, then now we really got to protect her. Really. Because the world's going down. And we're here. Here's some headgear. Here's some black coats. And you wear these things out in the desert where it's 100 degrees because it's safer. Nobody can see you and imagine you and googly eye over you. So we're going to do that. Logistically, it makes sense. Logistically. It doesn't make sense with love. No, I know. I forgot. Men forget that love is the first sense that he's born with. He's a Christ flame. And somebody who loves his mother or his wife or his daughter would never want to remove her senses for her safety. First of all, his mother would say that's stupid. That's what she'd say if she had a voice. Let's talk about women before I end. Let's talk about women innately, intuitively, knowingly, innately. Women are unconditional love. Unconditional. I can tell by the ghosts, by the woman that all, like, because sometimes the women get replaced, like with Guy, Cynthia. France was his first woman. Lima is the second one, so there was two. And the first one, he was beaten up all the time, and she kept coming back. And then this Lima woman kept coming back. But today, something happened, like in about, I don't know. They're putting out a new image, whatever's going on, and they look happy together. And he got a new red car, sports car. I don't know how he afforded it. But all these new red sports cars showed up in my neighborhood suddenly. My landlord got a new red sports car. The neighbors across, the ghosts across the street, there's three people living there. There's an old lady, an old man, a red-headed woman, and her husband live downstairs, and they own the house. And everybody in that house owns a red car, even though the really old rickety lady at the top of that, she lives in a 1.5 or something, I don't know, very disabled, walks up these steps every day, doesn't have online groceries being delivered to her at all. She's running up the stairs with 4 bags. She used to have a little dog. That dog's gone. But and then the guy next to her, he has one guy come visit from time to time. One guy, that's all. And there is another one across from them, next door to them rather. It's a red brick building with 5 units in it. 5 units. I should show you. Every one of their cars is red. All of their cars are red. All of them. And I've never seen a human. I've never seen. I went over there once with France, Guy's girlfriend. She wanted to show me around the neighborhood to look inside these apartments because the bottom unit was empty. And she said, "Do you want to see it?" I said, "Okay, let's go look at it." And we peeked through the window, and it was an empty unit in the red brick building. I've never seen anybody in any of them. I've never seen a light on. The same with the lady across the street that lives in that one by herself. I've never, one light in the living room. She's got the same size house as these other houses with 4 units in it, but hers is one house. And it has a pop-up garage that she builds. She builds it every winter for the snow. She's out there in October putting those, it's like a tent style garage all by herself. She's 60. 60. She's got the garden. I don't know what she's doing in the backyard. Last year she had 3 loads of dirt delivered there. I don't know what's in the backyard to need 3 loads of dirt. but she loves to garden. That's what they're doing here. They're all gardening. They're flowers, they're gardening. And they spend their time gardening, planting, planting and gardening. So women have an unconditional love, but they're loving the wrong men, right? They're changing partners. And now some of them are just not picking any at all. None. There's none to pick. The, the logistics, the safety, the protection, the love, um, and what they're building, which is not heaven, is unacceptable. But look at us accept it. Look at us accept it. We accept it. We've accepted it all along. We've accepted, though, I'm telling you, ladies, the wrong creator. The wrong creator. Alpha. Also, women have a strong ability to tolerate. They tolerate. Oh my God, guys, you're so freaking lucky. You are so lucky on how much France and Lima tolerate. Like brutal abuse. Keep coming back. And you know what he says? What does he say about her? What does he think about her? Keep coming back. She loves it. She loves them. She wants me like this. She loves me. But she has that tolerance, right? That's the way God made her. What you do with her is up to you. But she has tolerance. Over 2,000 years to put up with you. And she has the capacity to wait forever. Like I did. For my Joe. And when you see him, you know. The one who's going to bury your children. That's who it is. Because you wouldn't have had children. Wouldn't have been able to. You think you're in charge of that? The birth control pill is in charge. See, men, logistically, they're not thinking. And the birth control fails, the condoms fail, everything fails, doesn't it? And so and then we have to go all the way into abortion now, guys. Come on. And women are sitting there in the background. What are they doing? Well, they got unconditional love. They've got acceptance. They're tolerating it. And they have the capacity to wait forever. In the background. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. I don't know why I did this. I don't know if you can see it or not. I don't know why. It doesn't logistically quite make sense, but that, except the big picture does, the end one does, the butterfly makes sense. Oops. That makes sense. The M, I don't know. You see, as a woman, I have a bigger picture of things, and that's why your north, south, east, and west ideals never made sense to me, guys. Never. Like, I know you think you're right. Alpha told you. You went to school. I know you're smarter than me. But did you learn the right things? Right? Did they teach you that you're in charge of your own vessel, that the body you have is what you have. You don't have her body. You don't own anybody at all. You only have your body, your vessel. And if you take your vessel and you create a new image of yourself in the vessel while you're living in the vessel, you will create your new, there you are. There you are. Go look in the mirror. Come on now. It's an exercise. How do you look? What what what's going on with your appearance? Oh, if you think that you're allowed to grow old and sloppy and floppy, you're not even allowed to grow old unless you want to die and come back a new Christ infant at level 1 again, or whatever level you're coming at. Because each of us is, emotionally prepared for one level or the other when we're born again. Emotionally, it's what is determined is how you are doing emotionally, guys. Coping on earth, coping. How are you coping? And because of the education, we're not coping because of somebody else is controlling not only the mind and forming our brains to build hell and prisons and torture for women and children, logistically, is to turn our backs on love entirely because we are so afraid we must go by the book. That can be taken in two ways, my better half said. By the book, by the policy, by the law. That outside of me is first before I think about my own survival here on earth or my family. We must go by the book. Or by Alpha, what he said. Or by what she said if she is pretending to be a woman. Because they're using the image of women on television. They're putting softness on Alpha. They're putting makeup on them and making you think that is a woman and that is the way they think. What a woman wants isn't what the title of this video is. It's what men want. Because we already know what women want, don't we, gentlemen? Oh. We've been told what women want. We can see they're sitting there accepting it all. They have a lot of tolerance. Keep going, guys. Keep going. Keep doing it. Because in their minds, in their programmed brains, women don't care. They don't care. They think women don't care. They really do think women don't care. Well, Nana cares. And I know other women and grandmothers and daughters who care. But they wonder what's going wrong with their sons, with their mates. I was so mixed up these last few days between spiritually trying to feel my father, my son, and my mate. I was getting them all mixed up. The stories with Jesus and Elvis and the thread of life, and Arthur being born in Wells, British Columbia, and Wells is where the fires are starting. I'm aware that Christ works through people, and Christ is setting the world on fire. Through people. Logistically, that's the only thing that makes sense to my brain. In my whole brain, it makes sense. Why Arthur came to me first as a dark shadow spirit to show me that Trevor also came to me from a. I went to Trevor's dimension after he crossed over. I was in his dimension. It was dark with no light. It was at Harrison Hot Springs, and that was a place in the national forests that is famous for ghosts, spirits, Sasquatches. It's famous for it. All of the national and wildlife forestry places are famous for dark shadows. Logistically, that makes sense to me because our spirit has to go somewhere, guys, and it'll go into a house. It'll go into a house. It could take over a body. A spirit can take over a body. I read that. I got that bit of logic from George Ritchie, Ritchie, George. Return from tomorrow or Return into Tomorrow is the name of the book, written in 1978, the year my son was born. So that's why I was guided to read that book. I get guided in numbers. So that book points out the enormity of how our spirit feels when we cross over, and our attachments to things, our attachments to the bank and money, our attachments to the bar and drinks and camaraderie, or the bros, or the men, or I don't know, the bars. The spirits are everywhere at the bars. Um, on the streets, you see spirit of mother running after her son, begging him, begging him to see her. Or sons running after their mother, begging her to see him. But no one saw, no one sees. Well, that book might help you see. What I'm saying is, she's going to see now. She's going to see now how wrong she was. He's going to see how wrong he was, right? And this alone should empower, not break us up. The awareness of 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 how we are merely harvesting eggs and sperm for a robotic work slave Earth, a black one, a creature one, where anything goes against our children. That's the lowest of low, when you have no mind for the children. You are at the bottom. You are going to the bottom, whether you like it or not. whether you think you're wearing a tie and a suit and you have the money and even a family to back you up. You don't. And even if you think you have pain and you deserve forgiveness um, from someone else, like Jesus or whatever, you're not going to get it. You will not get forgiveness from Jesus. And Jesus will not be coming like a rhinestone cowboy out of the sky. Yeah, no, Arthur told me that. Doesn't make sense, he said. And he's right. That's an old story with some deep, wonderful, emotional messages that we have tried to recreate here. We recreated what to try and get us back to our original Christ flames here as adults, growing into ourselves, not away from ourselves. I'll say that again. We need to grow into ourselves, not away from ourselves. Because your image of your alpha is outside of you. It is not real. It's over. It's blown out of proportion, mental men. You're blowing things out of proportion, guys. And the more you blow things out of proportion in your mind, in your imagination, the more it becomes real. The only proportion that you can control, the only thing you can manage is your own living vessel. It's like an airplane, right? I talk about the airplanes quite a bit here. If you don't have control of that vessel, then the machine does. And you have a lot of faith up there, a lot of faith in your alpha and his intelligence, like GPS, navigation. They don't even know north, south, east, west. They don't know themselves anything. They're going by maps that they were given and say, all right, now you go to this number of meters high, go to 33,000 feet. 33,000, that's a good number. You see, they do know what's going on and they do use numbers to talk to each other here on Earth, the ghosts. And 33, 17, 6. You'll see, like in Maui, only 31 died. You'll see in China, 31 died over there. Cheese and rice. 31 people, guys. But you'd think by watching the tidal waves and the burnings and the gone people, you would think there'd be more. But nope, nope. 33 in that place, 17 in that place. And those numbers make sense because you see, the media puts out data numbers, and that's how your brain automatically forms. Like subscribers, right? They'll see I only have 700 subscribers. Oh, she's not very popular. And you emotionally know that. And so, people don't like her. I'm going to go to the guy, the alpha, or the pretty woman, the one with the lipstick on that has the Adam's apple. I'm going to go over there because, well, you know, I'm more comfortable there. That's how I was raised, with these types of women. Not you, not you. And like a man says to his wife, no, no, not you. Look at you in that outfit. I bought you that. I see it. It looks good on the girl on the catalog or on that mannequin at the store, which the straight back on the mannequin. You know, the clothes, we can make them look good on men, but put them on you. Pah, it'll look floppy. It'll look oversized, or it's too tight, or you're going to show a muffin top. You won't be comfortable. Not only that, they're not your colors. They're who decides the fall and spring colors around here? I've spent my whole life behind the times or above the times. I don't know what. But in the 70s, when that avocado green and orange came out, man, I wanted to die. I said, what is going down? Because the colors are not brightening up. Burgundy? Yeah, I had to wear burgundy with avocado pants with orange stripes in polyester material. That's what I wore in the 70s. I had a different realm. I had a mother that didn't like denim or anything hippie or fun. So, no. My creator wanted me to wear what the Godfather puts forward. And the fear she had in me throughout her life that I would end up like her. It was incredible. You've seen my story, I've gone over it a few times, how she projected her fears as if I am the one living out her life. Like the time she thought I was pregnant when I was a virgin. She was pregnant at 15. She had a baby at 16. Her birthday's December. She had the baby May 31st. So she was 15 when she got pregnant. And she was really afraid. She was love, you know, but it's misplaced in fear. But her intention is love. It's so deep inside, but all of the details, all of the Edge of Night, One Life to Live, As the World Turns, General Hospital, all of those programs make her tolerant, acceptant of conditional love. You can break away from your kids. You can tell them they are shit until they smarten up. Then they can come back to you. It doesn't matter if you don't know the whole story, moms. Don't it because you can't see the whole story on the Edge of Night. You just see that kid's acting out. It's time to pull the reins in and be the man. Mom, be the man. Cut the cord. Cut the cord. Cut the cord. So she does, and she changes partners. She got new kids. The other kids may be feeling left out like I and my brother did. I don't know how other people feel, but I felt pushed aside. And the new guy and the new kids and the love. I was a slave for my mother. She fed off my fear. My own mother fed off my fear. And she was unconscious about it. And she crossed over. And she saw. all. She saw her husband, her second husband, come into my rooms. She saw herself screaming at me. She saw herself emotionally torturing me for 50 years. I was exactly 50 when she crossed over in 2009, October 1st, 2009. She had already set everything up in motion for our ghost story here. That her second family would be in charge of her will, and my one blood brother would go along with whatever they did, but it was all set up to take the money out before she died, I was told, that in the last 3 days. I just know that now, that the money was gone, and they all had this planned in bookkeepers, left brain without a right brain, without their original love brain, right? Their love brain calculated, schemed, planned, as if I gave a shit about the money, as if I would fight for it, as if I wanted it. And I didn't. I didn't even, nothing. They did all that fear and planning and calculating for nothing. They could have it. You take the money, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll take my soul. And which of us is going up? And which of us is going down? And what are the odds of planning a new world when you're back in 9, when you cross over and see all, and see your life and your review, and the people you hurt and harmed, and the children, and the mess that we create here, and you know you have to come back. You know you do. There's no choice. My father said to me, and Trevor have said to me, they're coming back. They have to. And that's what my biggest heartbreaker of all was when Trevor said, he's coming back. They didn't get it in life. They didn't get it in life. Do you understand? They got it through me. Well, first of all, they're 9s when they cross over. They're back to love, right? And then through me, my thoughts and my consciousness, which they can feel and read on 9, on the level they're at, they learned. They're still here in this realm where they know their story, right? They know us. They know what me. That you, when you cross over, you're still here, but in a consciousness of love, pure love. And you can hear. You go to the funeral. You can hear. You can see people stealing money from the will. The estate lawyers lining up. The funeral director, Ashley, the funeral director, taking all his money. The music industry is a huge hustle, especially now. It's like all about medicine and death. It's where to go to get a career. If I was back in that, I would plan for something to do with that. Artificial intelligence, anything, you know. Then you get far here. But getting far in hell is really, you know. I heard that some Filipinos are living in a volcano. It was in the news, that's a fact. Well, my logistics said that they're where they want to be. where they wanted to be. They're so hard on themselves this time. And you get harder and harder and harder on yourself. And you are hard on yourself. You're very hard on. You're not love on yourself. You don't love yourself. You're you give all of your love and all of your blood and all of your sweat and all of your tears to the Godfather. And you keep praying out and begging for your salvation. And somehow, some way, even people thought that I would give that to them. That it could give them the answer. Deep down, they knew I would. And others couldn't wait. They were, well, first they had conditional love. They had no acceptance outside of their realm of imagination. And they had no tolerance for things outside of what they know. And they don't really have the capacity to wait forever. And to be honest, sometimes I'm slow. I haven't been well. So that's what the entertainment industry does to our brains is you need instant gratification, you need emotion like fear, you need to feel that you're alive. So you either have to be the scary guy or the scared guy. Either one. You're just a guy. You're just a ghost. You're just a ghost. And repeating these cycles in ghost towns and national forests. And I live in a ghost town. I do. It's a ghost town. They're very polite. You could take them as kind, I guess. Not really, because, well, they smile, right? Or sometimes give a smile in a way. Not very often. I brought a Christmas cake, which everybody hates, over to the one lady across the street who lives alone in the big house, the one that's like 60. She has never waved. Recently, she's been selling things out of her house, like little chairs or tables. People come up. She has an endless supply of tables and chairs there. I've never seen a car come visit her, ever, ever. Well, one, it's a white truck. It's got rust. He comes twice a year. I don't know why, but he comes twice a year to see her. Stays about an afternoon, and then he's gone. I had the feeling that he was her brother. That's how I feel it works. Brother. How often do you see your sister? How often do you see your family? Are they ghosts? Are you a ghost? Are you repeating yourself over and over? Well, everybody loves candy, right? And you can have candy that is artificial in every way, in the sugar, in the chocolate, because it logistically made sense to make more profit here than to create out of the imagination of women who has the gift of heaven in her heart. Her capacity to remember heaven is infinite, and she knows heaven, and she wants heaven, and she plans for heaven, but he rules here, and she tolerates and accepts here, and he thinks that means it's okay. And I'm saying, listen to your own heart. Look around at what we're building here and think about your own role, your own part in this play. It is a play. It's a fantasy that somebody else created. It didn't come from me, to replace God. That I know. I came conscious on earth. I came conscious to 9 on earth. I can telepathically communicate with our loved ones. My loved ones. I don't know about yours. I am communicating, and I know where they wanted to go and what they want to do. When my son was young, I found nylons and makeup under his mattress. That's why I drank. There's so much wrong with my boy. I can't tell you, but I don't know who created him. Oh, I do. I do know who created him. TV, daycare, and Gary. And my family when they had him. My sister. My mom would not have him because, she picks people to love. And it wouldn't have been him. So what I'm saying, as a whole person, and with my left brain intact, and knowing about all the fires and all of the floods, and the modification systems here are all worked through people, and they're all working for Christ to bring the house down. Arthur Nolan Fisher, my guy from Wellsby, British Columbia, I keep seeing this, oh my God, a hole. I just see this hole over there. And you know who's over there in the realm of Wells, British Columbia? My granddaughter, Frank, my siblings are all there in the red zone. My granddaughter may not be. There's another story I have going on, but because I'm not sure yet, I'm not going to talk. But I'll put it out there. There could be a possibility she went to Nova Scotia to be with someone else, somebody she thinks is a woman, and it's not. Someone who she thinks is her friend, and if I don't have my wires crossed, this friend who's the same age as Caitlin, my granddaughter, was a lure to get her there. Because I know that guy in the profile picture where she knows my granddaughter. She's been taunting me about it. Is a man. Does my granddaughter know? Does my granddaughter really know her friend? Or is she just another horse rider competing, having a gay old life as champions together in the barrel racing that they do? Uh, so, as part of our programming here on Earth, we can do whatever we want. We can love whoever we want, do whatever we want, think whatever we want, judge whatever we want, and keep going. Nothing matters because the commercial or whatever, tomorrow can be a new day and you can freshen up, put new lipstick on or a new tie, and you can start over. But if you've got the same consciousness when you cross over as Satan, then you're coming back. And when you come back, your consciousness will have shown up on your body. Your consciousness will have created your body. If your consciousness is not a light being with beauty all around you and an aura of color and wonder, then it's black and dark and gray or red, and that's what you'll manifest. I don't know how, I don't know, don't talk about details on how it gets in there, but you'll find a way to get it in there. You'll find a way to make yourself ugly. You will find a way. Even though you started off beautiful, you'll make sure you become ugly. Creating it. And do you know that you could create the other way? While you're spiraling down, 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 did you know that you can create the other way? You know the international peace symbol, right? Peace? That's upside down. Go look at the peace symbol and see how much better you feel when you see those three sparks looking up. It lifts the whole veil up when you take the peace symbol alone and turn it around. And then your arms in the air and you're not hiding things like your penis or your vagina. You're free. You innately know everything and you are acting it out, your role. But you're doing it for the wrong producers. And this story is over. As they all end. They all end. And a new one begins. And my grandmother has said clearly, we are 5 generations repeating history over and over and over again. We are 5 generations within the same tribe and creating karmic roles for each other to live, to cope. And we should have 100 years, But my grandma's the only one that lived that long. My grandma did live to 94. And my dad lived to 68. And my son lived to 25. And my grandson, granddaughter, well, Dylan's already 26, so he's already better than his dad, right? But he lives like a ghost in a room in a nice house, playing games and eating fast food and feeling no love from his creator, the one who adopted him after his dad died. No love he doesn't feel. He doesn't love his mother. No, no, no. No, why would he? Why would my son love me? When we are the blame. And that's what the sons know intuitively, is that we are the blame. And we are the blame. But I'm telling you, we are the blame because we're not giving what men want. We're not letting them be who they want to be. And Arthur, I can't tell you how many times he has had to shut me up in the last few days. Because, the neighborhood and the ghosts, I would get a little panicky about something. And my landlord, things are going down, guys. Things are going down. And I start to feel something. And right away I'd start to rock, and I know it's Arthur rocking me. I feel it. I feel it on my back and in my heart. He's rocking me. And telling me I'm safe and wholly protected. Though just that's all I have to feel once. And all of the anxiety drains out of me, it's gone. And I'm walking around here like I'm very weak. My heart is failing. It's failing. My heart is huge, and it can't live in this body. My heart can't live. My grandma, by the way, died of an oversized heart. That's what they said to us. Yes, her heart was oversized. That's how she died. That's her on the records. Oversized heart. And now here I am. Literally, I am bent over, not standing straight, because my heart is really freaking heavy. And it's not emotional, it's physical. It's my vessel is not able to keep up with my heart because my vessel has been controlled by outside entities, by man who wanted to make me better, who wanted to create a better woman, somebody who could see, touch, smell, taste, and hear, because he can't hear, see, touch, taste, smell any woman here without love. He thinks when he smells perfume or he tastes honey or he feels softness that he has what he wants. But if he doesn't have his whole brain, the one he needed to grow up with as a child till he was 12, that he's 12, he can go by 12. He should, I don't want any kids around me after 12. He should be able to go. Keep going. Research, discover, find out what you're doing here, and bring home the family. I'll help you. But I'm not going to raise you till you're 33, paying for your education. here for you to replace me with social workers and nurses and doctors and what? What happens when women find out? They walk away. That's what I did, like with Trevor and my dad, telling me that they're going to have to come back. How the hell is my heart going to cope with that for 3 days? Because it's going down. I don't even know if there will be a ground. Right? It's so bad here. But it will be. It will. There'll be something here. There will not be sun or stars here, though, because we're going down. Not, you think we're on the level 3 and we're going up to level 4 and 5. Yeah, just going with the crowd. We're going up, guys. It's a mass awakening. It's a mass awakening. Well, yeah, you're right. It is. But not the way you think. What's waking is your heart and individuality. What's waking is your belief in yourself and trust what you feel above all others. You remember your emotional connections. A lot of you may have some anxiety, my better half says, around who is she or he and what have I done here and what's going on. Don't worry, you don't need to know how. You'll know. And if they've already crossed over, this is the one that Arthur really wants me to shout out. If they have crossed over already, your loved ones, the one that you came to reproduce with, or your creator even, or your logistical manager, your father, you can talk to them. Now, it takes a practice. I know it's taken me a long time to believe in this. I was raised a Christian. I was raised in the schools. I was unsuccessful. Thank you, me. Thank you, me. I was unsuccessful. I was a rebel. I got in trouble. And I couldn't be prouder of how I feel today at the end of this story. And that's the whole joy, is to, at the end of your story, it doesn't matter what you did in the story, it does not matter the details. I don't care if you changed partners and you did all that sinful stuff. At the end, what matters is your awareness. And as soon as you have your awareness, the past is over. It is over. You know what happened. It's over. All of those stories I have talked about here, they're over. And for me to go back and talk about Jesus and Mary or King James or Elvis and his mother and all of this, for me to continue is to keep bringing in those same words, the same pictures to your mind when they're old and over. And we want to create new out of nothing, but with a foundation of love. That's what men want. That's what women want. That's what God wants. Bonne journée from Quebec City.